All right. So yeah, I had to start it over. I think people said it was froze. I'm back. So maybe people will find us here or not. So now that rookie money camp is over, what happens? Well, I think Shedeur should be excited that, he proved to himself that he is who he is. Shannon Sharp even said that they loved how Shedeur stood on business and isn't worried about what anybody else thinks. I happen to agree with that. So we shall see. So yeah, I don't know. It could have been my battery was messed up. So I'm gonna just hang out here to see if people find us. If not, we'll find us tomorrow. Let me see. Yeah, I can see that it's back. Okay. So yeah. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Yes, I'm back. They said the stream froze. It wasn't frozen from my end, but y'all was saying it was frozen. So I just hit refresh and started a new one. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, that's that. So what are y'all's thoughts about this? So y'all have heard my thoughts. What are y'all's thoughts about Shedeur balling out at practice? What do y'all think is going to happen next in terms of will he stay on the team or like will Cleveland look at the situation and I don't know how you can do this and go, you know what, he balled out at practice, let's keep him and let's cut this person or that person. Or do you think they're going to continue down this same path of, they weren't happy to have him, they're not promising him anything, yada yada yada. You let me know y'all's thoughts. What do y'all think? I just got home and turned you on. The wheel kept spinning. Okay, thank you. Somebody said that it froze. So I just started another one. Good evening. Hey, hey, hey. Thanks, Gracie. He is balling out and he's making the coach look stupid. Who said that? That is Marlon. So Marlon, you said he's balling out and he's making the coaches look stupid. Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm asking. Like, what do y'all think these people gonna do? They are in a dilemma. Because for one, I don't know what they must have hid the GM in the closet because we have not seen him since his initial interviews where he was saying, we're not promising him anything, yada yada yada. Shedeur comes in and balls out instantly and effortlessly. He didn't have to put a lot of effort into that. This is just what he does. So my question to the chat, what do y'all think they're gonna do? Are they gonna be like, oh well, he's good, we can't cut him? Not like they didn't know that. Because remember, they met with him extensively. They told us that both Stefanski and the GM. But you know what I think their problem is? I think Cleveland, the fan base, the organization, have a problem with Shedeur being famous. I do. I think that's really the problem. They were gonna get him anyway, right? If the Deshaun Watson contract wasn't an issue, which is why they moved on to Dylan Gabriel. But if they didn't have a problem with his fame initially, then that's not it then. That's the excuse that they're trying to put out there because it mimics what the New York Giants said. It mimics the entitled trope. That's what I think. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Happy Mother's Day. Thank you. Who's that? Chandra. Welcome back, Chandra. Thank you. That's not true. So what's not true? Okay, let's see. That's God in the plan. I totally agree. I totally agree with that. Marlon, I totally agree. Because that's why I said now it's a dilemma. Because, well, we're not going to offer him anything. He has to come in and do the work. I can't wait to hear these post press conferences from rookie minicamp. I want to see the face of the GM. They might keep him away from the cameras. I don't know. Because normally at this point, it should be all the coach. can't stop that he has his own brand. Right. He's not going to be the only player that has his own brand. So I don't even know, why they would even do that. And he has the ability to push the media back. Happy Mother's Day. Hey, B2. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. If they want to make some money, they'll get over themselves. Absolutely. Absolutely. If you want to make money, you're going to stop with this foolishness. But the problem is, to me, now, I don't know much about Tennessee, but I think Tennessee has a new GM. And I think they might have made the old GM look stupid, like they're making Andrew Berry look stupid. I think that might be the case. I'm going to have to go do some research on who the GM was when A.J. Brown and Derrick Henry were allowed to lead that team. I need to look at that because you have invested all of this money. And here's the thing. Will Levis have been good with A.J. Brown and with Derrick Henry? Because it seems like they moved those two pieces out the way and made it all about the quarterback position. And then they moved away from that quarterback, and now they have Cam Ward. That's why I say these decisions are like merry-go-rounds, just endless, asinine activity. I'm like, it's crazy. So I don't know much about Cleveland, but I mean about Tennessee, but I'm starting to get the picture. It's starting to get a little clearer. I told y'all clarity comes with time. Now the public is involved. They must make a serious decision. Now, I agree with that. Who said that? Patricia, I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. So, but see, the league didn't even make a good decision, and they had 7.3 of us watching. But this is different. They were like, he got to come in, he got to ball out. He did. It shows you that they should have drafted him. But the question is, maybe they should have got Flacco for 1 year to be what they call a bridge QB. Then it's Flacco and Shedeur. Should it be Kenny Pickett and Dillon Gabriel? I don't think so. Because you still have Deshaun Watson. And you have to pay Deshaun Watson. So to me, having two people extra was ridiculous. And now they're trying to save somebody, the coach or the GM. I'm supposed the coach like to have 4 QBs. So that means either Kenny Pickett or Dillon Gabriel is odd man out. What I think should have happened to Cleveland should have got Shedeur at number 2, to be honest. That's what was going to happen. They should have stuck with the plan, got Shedeur at number 2. If you want to bring in Flacco for 1 year, cool. But Shedeur is a starter. So you really didn't need a bridge QB, despite the fact that you wanted one because you don't want to believe that these young QBs are starters. There were people who didn't want J.J. McCarthy to start. He's too young. I'm like, what are y'all saying? Because this is about protecting the old guard, the way things used to be. So I think Cleveland itself have a problem with Shedeur being famous. That's why they kept saying a lot comes with it. You know, we normally come in the building to work. But here's the thing. Shedeur is not the first NIL person. Bronny had it, but maybe that was basketball. You know, somebody going to come after Shedeur. They're going to have Arch Manning next year. Well, no, he's not coming out. See, it's already starting. It's already starting. I don't even know if he gets NIL. But he makes the team look good, apparently. So he's going back for another year. He's not even coming out next year. You would think that he was coming out, but why? He like, no, I don't want to. These players are not coming out of college as rapidly as they were. It's prevalent in the NBA. It's already happening. To be honest with you, I said Travis should have went back for another year. I did. I was like, Travis need to go back to college 1 more year. He's only 21. He's young. And I felt like, and if Shedeur had another year eligibility, which I don't know if he did or not, Shedeur was a senior, but there's that master's level that you could, grad level. You can have grad eligibility. Hell, they both, based on what we saw in the NFL draft, Shedeur and Travis should have ran it back 1 more year. Shedeur and Travis. Now, Jacksonville is happy to have Travis. They're treating him with respect. But again, Travis not a QB. I saw a little footage about the Titans. Of course, I feel like Shedeur was all over mini camp coverage, all over the place. And even on the Browns social media, who loves Shedeur, by the way, they got it on and popping when it comes to Shedeur. So the social media team gets it. And maybe because, Cleveland didn't take social media seriously, that's why they don't get it where Shedeur is concerned. But that just means you're stuck in the past. These kids are taking classes on NIL in college on how to build their brand. So how do you expect them to come out of school with millions not to be confident? They're confident in 7-on-7 because only the best get to play 7-on-7. So they're going from 7-on-7 to, that's high school, to college. Then they're making millions in college. So to me, the NFL is the one that's stuck in the past. And it's the worst teams have the problems. Look at the Washington Commanders. Washington used to be a problematic team. They're like, you know what? We just want to win. Screw that. But I think they have new owners, possibly. If anybody know if Washington has new owners, let me know. That's what needs to happen to the Giants. Need new ownership. The Titans need new ownership. The Browns need new ownership. Those organizations, the top three from this year, they got to go. They are holding the team back. They're trying to mimic America at its worst times. When it came to race relations, that's what they're holding on to. The Giants, the Browns, and the Titans. That's what they're holding on to. That's why they're consistently sorry. Arch Manning, he only played a couple of quarters of football. Oh, well, they expect him to come out, but he not. Willow from the old days. If you put Deshaun Watson on injured reserve list, then you can essentially keep Kenny Pickett, Joe Flacco, Dylan Gabriel, with, of course, Sanders. That would be 4. Okay, well, I'm assuming he's on IR then, right? Or maybe they don't know. Okay, that's good insight. That's really good insight. Who was that? FBA. Thank you. Thank you for that. That's good insight. Do y'all get the impression that thank y'all. Somebody supported the chat. Thank y'all so much. So I can get this channel to the next level. I appreciate it. Who is that? Spirit of Detroit podcast. Yay! So Spirit of Detroit podcast just financially supported the channel. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see if I can type a thank you. Because this is how I'm going to take us to the next level. I was actually looking forward to this tonight, not to talk, but to engage, because we've been doing it consistently for the last month or so, and it's kind of just fun now. Okay, so FBA, thank you. Spirit of Detroit, I really appreciate you. Thank you too. Continental said he got tons of money to make in college. Oh, Arch Manning, yeah, if that's what you're talking about. Arch getting the big NIL. So he is getting NIL. Yeah, last year, Shedeur was at the top spot. Now Arch Manning is at the top spot. So let's see how resistant the NFL is when he comes through. You know that's not going to happen. And his granddaddy going to pick where he go, and it's probably the Giants. They just didn't want Shedeur in that spot, and they just don't want no more black starting quarterbacks. Yes, get rid of Dan Snyder. Okay. Oh, they got rid of him. See, that's what needs to happen. That's why what happened to Shedeur, what happened to Shedeur has started conversations and has exposed the fact that discriminatory practices against black NFL QBs is not new. And now we're talking about Malik Willis. I've already started looking into DTR. I had already been talking about Geno Smith. We already talked about Deshaun Watson, Lamar Jackson. We touched on the surface about all the excessive sacks with the young guys. If I pulled out the chart that said that the top 3 QBs that were sacked the most were the young rookies, along with Russell Wilson and Geno Smith. So they've been trying to get Geno Smith up out of there, but he said they wrote him off, but he did not write back. And he's still in the league from 2013, and he still has not made 100,000. So next year he'll hit the 100,000, but it says that his $75 million contract with the Raiders could, with incentives, go to $85 million. And it's funny how they said this man was trash. When I read about his trade to the Raiders, oh, that was the best off-season move the Raiders could have made to get Pete Carroll and to get Geno Smith. I'm like, he was never trash. That's the whole point. These black QBs get trash. Shadur Sanders got trash, and they talking about he need to prove himself. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. These teams are trash. So just like Dan Snyder had to get gone, and you see the Commanders have turned around, that's what needs to happen to the Giants. That's what needs to happen to the Titans, and that's what needs to happen to the Browns. That's what needs to happen. And if the guy who was Donald Sterling could lose his team because of racist remarks, then guess one of these teams between the Browns and the Giants, somebody need to be forced to sell, because the prank looked like it's coming from the Giants direction, and that's who should be forced to sell. They'll get to Cleveland next because they're gonna make another boneheaded move. But that's what needs to happen. These guys need to be forced out. They trying to keep, their plantation fantasies alive, and the fans are not here for it. The fans are not here for it. That lawsuit, just putting it out there, was the best thing, in my opinion. And there will be others. There will be others, because it shows that the fans are the ones that are holding the league accountable. He got tons of money to make in college. Yup, he's getting the bag. Yes, get rid of Dan Snyder. Yes. Nervousness being under the microscope. Who you talking about, Paul? Watson will spend 2025 on IR. Okay, so he will be. Okay, all right. So, it's just one of those things. It's a lot here. You want to make sure the guys who want to still pursue this because they feel like the money's great. Okay. And if you try to hold them accountable, you see essentially what happens with Deshaun Watson. If you try to ask for a trade, or Lamar Jackson, if you want to play quarterback and they want you to be a wide receiver and you don't switch, or if you're Shadur Sanders and you just confident and want to go to a winning team, heaven forbid you want to go to a winning team, and the worst teams have the first few picks. It's just those, it's just sad that that's the way it is, but unfortunately that's the way it is. So you have to know who you're working for. You have to know what the climate is like. You see what it is. It's not what you thought. Hard work is hard work might get them to look at you, but that doesn't mean hard work will get them to respect you. That's what happened with the Shedeur Sanders. And that's a takeaway. That's the takeaway. He's the best QB in college. They didn't care. It's just that he's coming in at a time they don't want any more elite black quarterbacks in the first round, because they don't want any more black starting QB1s. I felt like Geno Smith came at the wrong time, because when he came in 2013, he had to go to 5 teams first. And Malik has gone from the Titans only to Green Bay. DTR went from Cleveland to Philadelphia. Those 2 QBs, in my opinion, escaped what Geno Smith had to go through back in 2013. Team after team after team. They both, in my opinion, have landed in good places. And that's what I believe is going to happen to Shedeur. I think Shedeur is going to go on to find success, hopefully with Jacksonville. They paid Trevor Lawrence $253 million or $235 million. Shannon Sharp was talking about the highest paid quarterbacks, and everybody he listed at the top was white. Yep. Even Matt Ryan was still up there with 192, and that was a long time ago. He might have been one that was after Lamar Jackson, but in terms of the money list, but that was a lot of money for Matt Ryan's time back then. 2 and 12 definitely needed to stay in school. grow stronger with Pops. Yeah, I think they should have stayed one more year because the NFL just not right, bro. They not right. These guys now have to go into this league knowing that it's not about fairness and it's not about winning. If it's not about talent, fairness, and winning, then I'm rolling the dice, hopefully uh landing someplace where I can stay there for 4 years at least. But it looks like to me that these teams that they're going to at the bottom are the most problematic. They don't stay for a year or two. They got to suffer it out. Hopefully, they don't get hurt and then move on to a better situation. That's what I think is going to happen with Shedeur. We're going to see. We're going to see. But I'm happy to read y'all's input. Let's see. Daniel Mitchell said, yeah, yes, sis, we got Joan Harris and Magic Johnson in a small group, but primarily Josh Harris, and they treat Jaden like royalty. Yes. And so you know what that means, right? That means that the guy that left the Texans that was part of the problem with CJ Stroud getting sacked relentlessly is going to Washington. So let's see how effective that ownership group is at protecting Jaden Daniels and not standing for the foolishness, which is why I believed that Shedeur was going to the Raiders, because I felt like, and I was on camera saying it, and I heard it the other day. I said, y'all know Tom Brady don't play about Shedeur. False. False. Stories going back and forth all day, calling him Tom Shady, because it's documented that he was brought in to help consult on quarterbacks in the draft and for the team. And he wanted Cam Miller, who I think went to North Dakota State, that we played against, instead of Shedeur. So now his reputation is being trashed. I mean, he's still a good quarterback, but you know, if you being called Tom Shady and a snake, that don't matter. That's gonna wear off. Watson will spend 2025 on IR. Okay, thank you for that, Tap King. Paul, you said nervousness under the microscope. Let me know who you was talking about. Geno Smith played better than Aaron Rodgers in both 2 years. Geno Smith is developmental player. No matter what, he can develop into a great quarterback. That's what they really scared of. Obviously, because he been around since 2013. And when he got to a good team, see, to me, New York, when he was drafted, was not a good team. Geno Smith was also a first round draft projection and got pushed down to the second round. He didn't get pushed as far as Shedeur. I told y'all Shedeur's was the most extreme because of what was at stake. This was not about Shedeur. Jalen Milroe got snubbed too. And they knew that. That's why I told y'all they took Cam Ward at the last minute. They were probably trying to figure out which one of them they was going to push down. If they were so set on Cam Ward, we would have been heard it. They made that decision at the last minute, a couple of days before draft week. Remember, they were going to sell that pick. They didn't want Travis. They didn't want Shedeur. They didn't want, well, they kept meeting with Shedeur, but I don't think they wanted Travis. I don't think they wanted Shedeur. I don't think they wanted Cam Abdul Carter, nor did they want Cam Ward. That's 4 people that they passed on, and the Titans were willing to sell that pick. That means they didn't want any of them. And they settled on one, in my opinion, good for Cam Ward. But let's see how they treat him. Tom Brady is a snake. Yep, that's what people are saying, Robin. They calling him Tom Shady. He got a new name. Lobo or Nothing says, Daniel Mitchell, I think Pete Carroll overruled Tom and went with the collusion. Oh, I agree. I agree. Brady is pro prime. They don't like him like that. Here's what I would have done. I do believe he got overruled. I don't think he should have said he didn't have decision-making ability, because that's a lie. What he did not want to say is what Lobo just said, Daniel Mitchell, that he got overruled. And he did. Think about it. He just came in as a minority owner and got overruled by Pete Carroll and the rest of the organization. Everybody stood pat against Shadur Sanders. Everybody, including Jerry Jones. Y'all know Jerry Jones, no Coach Prime. That's got to be a hard pill to swallow. Patrick Mahomes wasn't a first rounder in that draft, and college means nothing in the NFL. That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. Because you have some guys like, okay, Will Levis was a second rounder, right? He started in Tennessee. Jalen Hurts was a second rounder at number 53. He wasn't expected to start. Somebody had to get hurt first. It works for some people. It doesn't work for everybody. And honestly, they use their draft projections. Maybe it's not about college, but that's what the combine is for. That's what pro day is for. That's what all of these scouts were for that were at the college games. So college does matter. It might not be everything, but the fact that most of these guys that we're talking about were first round draft projections and got pushed down further speaks to what? Remember the slide that I kept sharing that says how badly the NFL discriminates against black quarterbacks in the NFL draft, working to devalue them? That's what they did to Shedeur. All of the scouts were at Shedeur's game. Do you think they don't know he good? It's not like he was not a first round draft pick. He was a first round draft pick. But there were other first round draft picks that were pushed down too. But Shedeur was the most extreme. Remember Warren Moon? Yep, they said Warren Moon had to go to Canada first. And ironically, who said that? Warren Moon. Hold on one second. Who said that? Paul. They said Warren Moon unretired his number one jersey to give to Cam Ward so he could wear it. And it's also said that some quarterback named Tim Couch, who wore number 2 for Cleveland, but Cleveland did not retire the number, it was said that he didn't want Shedeur to wear his number. I'm like, if your number not retired, you don't have no say so. But that's what's being reported. So I saw that reported with Adam Schefter. I didn't know if it was a real post or not, but that's what people, when you Google it, it is out there. So, but he didn't want Shedeur to wear his number 2 because Cleveland has had bad luck with number 2s. Shedeur said he didn't care. I've heard Brady sneak this black QBs before too. He's not totally innocent. Oh, okay, Herman. Thank you for that. It wouldn't surprise me. They are calling him Tom Shady. I like it. I think it's just thick. Remember James Harris. Okay, Paul. James Harris I think he was on Evolution of a Black Quarterback. I think we need to look into him a little more. Now, I know who Warren Moon is. I know the story about him having to go to Canada. James Harris, I think, played for the Rams. I think. I'm going to look into him. And if there's any other QBs I should look into, y'all let me know. Somebody told me to look into a Troy Smith, a Malik Willis. I looked into Malik Willis. I guess I'll look into Troy Smith next. And I need to know who Troy Smith played for. And then I needed to look into who James Harris. James Harris. Okay. All right. I got it. Okay. Anybody else we need to look into? It's 168 of us. Let me know. Oh, I did a poll earlier, so let's check on it. So I did a poll earlier, guys, where I asked the question. Let's see. I asked the question, do we believe that Cleveland will keep Shadur Sanders? Let's see what the answer came out to. All right, let's see. All right, so I asked the question, will the Cleveland Browns fumble Shadur Sanders and release him before the 53-man roster is set? Here's the answer. Yes, it's the Browns. 47% said yes. No, they will keep Shadur Sanders on the team. 55%, 55% said, 53% said, no, they're going to keep him. So there y'all go. Most people believe that they're going to keep Shedeur. And Tap King, I see your comment. Shedeur is the perfect quarterback for Kenny Stefanski's system. Okay. All right. So what she said, podcast community, y'all think, y'all think Cleveland gonna keep Shedeur. Okay. All right. Y'all don't think Cleveland gonna fumble Shedeur after this nice display that we knew Shedeur was capable of. So okay. So that's what people think. Cleveland is going to keep Shedeur. I told y'all being rational. They didn't make no rational decisions on draft night. Cleveland didn't make no rational decisions. When they talked to Shedeur on the phone the first time, Kevin Stefanski was the only person that said, what did he say? He said, he told Shedeur, I told you God works in mysterious ways. But Kevin Stefanski and the GM had issues with Shedeur's fame. They didn't like the cameras. I don't know why not. He's not going to be the only person with it. So did y'all see the video? They were taking like a little group picture and everybody kind of got together. It was Shedeur and maybe it was all the rookies. So Shedeur, 2 rookies, and Dylan Gabriel. And the 2 rookies in the middle did like this. And Shedeur did like this. And Dylan just kind of looked. I don't like it because, I know people like everybody loves Shedeur. And Shedeur didn't tell him to do it. He didn't even do it. I think he was like, no, don't do it. So I'm not saying he trying to shrink himself, but in a way, he is trying to shrink himself so he can be a part of it because he want to play in the NFL. If anybody want to start a league, call me. I got a plan. I got a plan, but I just hate it. I just hate it. But that's what he wants. It's like watching one of your family members want to do something that's just puts them in a bad position because people don't like them, and you can't make people like you. But I don't know. We'll see. Vince Evans was the Bears QB before he went to the Raiders. Okay, let me see. I must be missing something. Let me go back up. So I feel his real opportunity will come from somewhere else, unexpected. Yes, that's where Jacksonville coming at. Who said that? Arus? Okay, I like that. Spirit of Detroit, it said 181 in the chat. Amazing. Yes. Thank y'all so much. The later we are, the better it gets because people have stuff to do. That's why we on here sometime for 3 hours. Okay. So Shedeur did well. Not a surprise. Raise your hand or drop the hand raise emoji if you were surprised that Shedeur did good. I don't think anybody's surprised. The poll, I'll keep it going. Right now, the majority say that Cleveland is going to keep Shedeur. Rational thinking. I'm still praying that Shedeur goes to the Jaguars. We talked about Malik Willis today. We touched on DTR. We're going to look into James Harris. I think we should look into James Harris next because he goes further back to maybe the Warren Moon era and before, and we can look at his story together. And then maybe what it's doing is we're just showing the pattern of mistreatment of Black quarterbacks in the NFL because it's relevant because of what we saw with Shedeur. And I talked about how extreme the mistreatment of Shedeur was. But I think maybe once we start taking a look back at some of these other guys like James Harris and Warren Moon, maybe they experienced the same thing or worse. Troy Smith, that's him. Troy Smith was a quarterback for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Okay, somebody said I should look him up. I'm going to look him up and see what happened. Only Cleveland Browns can mess this up. Yes, that's what I said too. Thank you, William. I agree. Y'all take the poll if y'all haven't already. Let's see if I can put in the chat the link to the poll. Let's see. Click on share. Can I share? Oh, here, I can share it. I'm going to send the poll. So y'all take the poll too. All right. So into the chat, I'm typing the link to the poll about is Cleveland gonna fumble Shedeur? So just take it and click on it and take the poll. Yes or no? Yes or no? The first response is yes, it's Cleveland. Yes, they're gonna mess it up and fumble Shedeur. And the second response is no, they're gonna keep Shedeur. So y'all make sure y'all put that in there. James Harris played with the Rams. He threw an interception in the first 2 minutes of a game, and they took him out and never played him again. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Thank you for that, Paul. Warren Moon grew up in LA and went to college in Washington. Oh, okay. Okay. He from LA. Like Los Angeles? Okay. Browns are a horrible organization. Yes. And negligent. Negligent when it comes to the QB position. Hell, they own fan base could put together a class action suit against them for spending all that money for them just to mess it up every year. I agree with you, Sanders. I agree with you, Jay Sanders. Cleveland Browns don't seem happy with Shedeur in the building. That's what I said. That's why I don't think I know. I think y'all setting yourself up to get y'all feelings hurt. These people are not rational. The NFL was not rational when it tried to force Shedeur down into undrafted free agency, but exploit him for views and think that the fans wouldn't care. Cleveland wasn't rational when it took Shedeur after they was forced to take a Shedeur after they had extensive pre-draft meetings with Shedeur, leading him to believe that they were going to draft him. And even when they pivoted away, they didn't tell him. They started secretly meeting with Dylan Gabriel. Now they have created a mess. One of the reasons Cleveland was probably forced to take Shedeur is because they were the ones having all the pre-draft meetings with him. And they probably was like, look, since y'all was meeting with him anyway, why don't y'all just take him? Say you got him for cheap. Don't nobody buy that fifth round story. Nobody believes that Shadur Sanders is day 3 talent. Nobody. Even people who don't like Coach Prime. And some Cleveland fans were actually saying that they were hoping Shedeur had his own agent so his father doesn't have to be around. Stop hating on this man, daddy. That's terrible. That's why I say Cleveland is problematic and they need to be forced to sell. People keep saying the owners are nice. I don't think they're nice. Running your organization into the ground is not nice. The Cowboys want him. Who, Shedeur? Who said that? I'm gonna need some more to expand on that. The Cowboys want him. Jay, the Cowboys want who? Can you expand on your comment a little bit, please? Thank you. William Anderson said the Cleveland Browns don't seem happy. No, they don't. Cam Moore suggested that he and Shedeur start a football league after they spent a few years in the league. Please, Lord, please do it. Please do it. And they need to do it right now. They need to do it with his father. I'm telling y'all, the time is now. What happened to Shedeur, it should never go on. They shouldn't even make it to another draft. The next draft should be like the current NBA draft. The least amount of people signing up for the draft. In fact, they ought to have leftover invites for the combine. It ought to be people saying, no, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. So you know how this year they had 300 invites to the combine? They should only be able to fulfill 100 of them. We should hear an announcement like we do about the NBA. Only 106 people accepted combine invites for the NFL. That's what needs to happen. Then they're going to get it together. Because as long as they think they can collude against Lamar Jackson, then we're going to be right back here next year. Y'all see what they did to Shedeur. Don't let them get away with it. I hope what's happening to the NBA happens to the NFL. People stay in school. I would stay in school. If I'm not dirt poor, I'm not coming out yet. I'm going to just wait. Maybe things will get better. I don't know. But it shouldn't happen. What I should be hearing is rumors that Coach Prime is starting a pro league. That's what I should be hearing. Ready to go next year. Don't have to be this year. It can be next year. He got students that need to be drafted. I hope it don't have to get bad before he does it, but it might. Because when he posted, he had a post that went out that was like, okay, I know things happen. We were a family, but something happened. Let's get back to that. I was like, Coach Prime, this ain't the move. This not the move. And I get it. He's a college coach. He got to get these students recruited. It might not be the NFL. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Reddit says somebody got married. Are they talking about Travis? The Cowboys want him. Yep. Cleveland Browns don't seem happy. Nope. The rookies are loving Shedeur. Yep. When I saw them do this, I was like, okay. I was like, the vets love him. He already got the locker room. And I blame Cleveland for this. I blame Cleveland for this because they started. This is why he is with Cleveland, because they interviewed with him extensively. They talked about it multiple times in their initial press conference. And they went away from him and they didn't say anything. I'm telling y'all, Shedeur is going to end up with a fully guaranteed contract like Deshaun Watson. And then you will understand why Deshaun Watson has the only fully guaranteed contract in the NFL. Shedeur's situation is going to expose some other things that have happened that people thought were over and done with. Nope. They shouldn't be able to do this again, but they're arrogant. So they're probably going to do it again. Y'all say that Cleveland found their quarterback now. It's Shedeur. It should have been Shedeur from the beginning. They owe that man some money. They will fumble on Shedeur. And us aunties out here don't want him anywhere. He's not emphatically or enthusiastically happy to have him. I totally agree. I'm telling you, the Jaguars is it. I hope Cleveland fumble Shedeur and send him to the Jaguars are right there waiting. I hope that's the plot. I hope this is the plan. I hope Pac-Man Jones was right. I hope his co-host Shapiro, who said he heard the same thing, is right. I need that to happen. It has to be Jacksonville. They say Travis love it out there. He can fish every day. It's only 4.4 hours and 56 minutes from Atlanta. I'm like, oh, Lord. And I want to be excited about it. I'm not excited about Cleveland. I don't want Shedeur to have nothing to do with Cleveland. They don't deserve him. I don't mind him being there long enough for them to see, and all of us to see, that they are stupid. So now I'm ready for him to go. I'm telling you, they trying to figure out what to do, because what they were going to do is not going to work. If they were forced into drafting him when they were not going to, they know they can't just cut him with no plan. They have to have a plan. And I hope that's where Jacksonville comes in at, because it is said that Jacksonville is trying to move on from Trevor Lawrence. But it wouldn't be so difficult if they didn't overpay him. That's the drawback to overpaying for their preferences. Now, nobody like, no, I don't want that. There are teams that want to win. They might have to stand down pat during the draft, but maybe doing trades, maybe they can't say nothing, because maybe it's up to the team. See, the draft is one thing, trades are another. Maybe they can't, maybe they have to get, that's why Malik Willis had to go in the trade to Green Bay, because maybe who was in Green Bay at the time, I thought it was Jordan Love, but I don't know what happened to that. So trades might be different. That might be why the Jacksonville rumor is picking up steam, because maybe it's not a problem in the trade because his price has already been set. See, the draft is where they control the price and who goes where. But in trades, I mean, the contract is set. I'm just trading for the same money. So it's not like they need to keep their tabs on that. It's all about who's QB1 and where. And they might not care about Jacksonville. I don't know. Who's Jacksonville in the conference with? See, I don't know who they're in the conference with to determine if they care or not. Do your research. He won back-to-back. Oh, people are okay. Somebody's setting somebody straight about Shedeur winning back-to-back championships. 100 likes shorts. Please support. Thank you, Political Lil. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. There's 190 of us. Please get the likes up for me, please. It says Cleveland lover. Who is that? Elijah. Hey, Elijah, welcome. Cleveland lover Dylan Gabriel. That is who they are picking. Shedeur may be on his way out. Yeah. I don't want y'all to get y'all feelings hurt, but I think Elijah is correct. I think Elijah is correct. Um, they were never gonna get Shedeur after they was gonna get him. They had to do it. They not happy about him being there, and they are stupid enough to fumble him, and he go on to be successful like Malik Willis when he left the Titans and went to Green Bay. It will be hard for Cleveland to cut Shedeur Browns as the center of the NFL right now. Yeah, but I think they're gonna do it. Think about it. Think about it. Cleveland could have had Travis and Shedeur. They messed that up. It is not a secret. Cleveland could have had Travis Hunter and Shadur Sanders. One of the few teams that could have had both of them. And they didn't do it. And they traded Travis Hunter away. Let me tell you what I heard on that little podcast today. Jacksonville made such an offer for Travis Hunter's, the number 2 pick, not for Travis, but for the number 2 pick, that Cleveland could not refuse. This is just A.J. Brown and Derrick Henry with the Titans being traded off again. It's the same thing, or free agency or whatever. It's the same thing. These teams that are bottom feeders, they don't want to win with certain people. They only want to win with who they want to win with. Cleveland was resistant to moving away from Will Levis, but they let A.J. Brown and Derrick Henry walk. They were going to sell that pick to get either Shedeur, Cam, Travis Hunter, or Abdul Carter. What does that tell you? These people have preferences, and they don't care about winning. And that's so sad because Nashville could really be good. So I don't know how they're going to treat Cam Ward. I don't. But if I'm like Cam Ward, I'm like Malik Willis. They pay me every day. They were good to me. Whatever. Whatever. Because they don't care about winning. So why should you worry about it? And make sure you don't get hurt. That's what you need to protect yourself from. You need to be looking at them old linemen and trying to see who's going to play in your face. Because it is highly possible that that's what's getting ready to happen. Because they didn't want you at first. And they had to think about it. They wanted to keep who they had. And that's sad. NFL brass has the mental disorder of needing black QBs, but wanting to be, not want to be overtaken. And right. And that's what they did in this draft. They're like, hell, we don't even want to win no more. Just give me these 2 right here because they not black. That's what happened. It wasn't a coincidence that out of the top 3 QBs, 1 was drafted at the last minute, if we being honest, and the other 2 were pushed down. And the 2 that were taken in their place were white. Come on. It's so obvious what's happening here. And the reason why I think they're so bold with it and why they tried it is because of the climate that we live in. There are some cities reporting that people are putting out whites only signs in restaurants. I'm like, okay, there's certain restaurants, certain black people don't want to eat in anyway. That's the times that we're living in, why they thought we could get away with this. They were shocked when 47 spoke up. They were shocked. That is why he announced the 2027 draft in DC. They need protection.